Hi everyone, welcome to PYF, Presha Yoga Fit, and I am Presha. High blood pressure or hypertension is on the rise. This yoga practice is designed to manage that. So let's roll out the mat and get started. For today's practice, I will be using two props, so these two blocks. I would encourage you to use these blocks for the practice. They will support you. But if you don't have blocks, you can also use two cushions or two books, anything that's available at your place right now. So let's get started. We will start with hero's pose and we are going to use the block right away. So for this, we'll use one block. And just as I'm seated right now, I'm just going to face this way so that you can look at me better. And this is Vajra Asana. So I'm sitting with bending my knees and with my hips on my heels. And in hero's pose, it's sort of the same, but it's just that my feet are going to be a little wider and I'm going to sit down with the sitting bones on the mat. I'll be using a prop, so the block is going to help me to support my seat. So what I'll simply do is lift up with the hips, take the feet slightly wider, place the block right under the seat and then bring the seat down. Then you can slightly draw those heels in or the feet in and comfortably sit on a block. Again, if you do have a cushion, you can place a cushion as well. Place your hands on the thighs or the knees, wherever they fall naturally. Close your eyes, lengthen your spine. So imagine there was a string attached to the crown of your head and it was attached on the other end to the ceiling and was pulling you up gently. So you're lifting up with your chest, your spine is getting longer. And relax your shoulders, draw them away from your ears. Soften the face, unclench the jaw. Soften your forehead, the eyes and the muscles around the eyes. Release the tightness from the muscles of your mouth and your neck. And then just slowly drift the attention to breath. Notice this rhythm of breath, how those inhales are expanding your chest, belly. Perhaps you can notice how the inhales are expanding the sides and the back body. And how exhales are softening the body as if those expanded muscles were drawing in, softening towards the spine. So wherever we are coming from, whatever work we were doing before this, we are trying to slow ourselves down, bring our attention, our focus to the present moment, to this breath that we do have right now in the present, and calming down the nervous system. If the mind wanders and goes to different thoughts from the past, things that we are planning for the future, avoid fighting the thoughts, avoid judging those feelings. Just gently let them come in and let them go out of the system and slowly again go back to focusing on the breath. Staying with the breath for a few more seconds. And then we are just going to open the eyes. If they were shut, slowly open your eyes, take your time. And let's do a little bit of stretch now. So take your hands behind you, interlace your fingers, bring the heels of your palms together, extend your arms and reach your knuckles down, squeeze the shoulder blades and lift the chest up and take your gaze up. Open from the upper body. And with an exhale, let's come back to center. Release the bind in the hands, take the hands in front of you. Bring the hands to the heart center, then interlace your fingers again. Turn the palms out, extend your arms forward and start to round the spine. Imagine you were trying to push into something with your hands. Inhale, reach your arms all the way up. Extend and reach from the sides of the body. Find a little stretch happening here. And with an exhale, release the hands to the mat, so onto your fingertips. Now we're going to lift up from the block. Just bring the block to side. And we are going to come down on the mat and bring the soles of the feet together. Now I'm closer to the wall, so I can also use the wall for this pose. We are coming in Baddha Konasana. If you do have the accessibility of being closer to the wall, then I would suggest or invite you to just bring yourself closer in this pose to the wall and bring the soles of your feet together. But if you're not closer to the wall, you're in the center of the room, then just be there on the mat. So I'm just going to show you both ways. With the wall behind me, just bringing the spine and the back body in against the wall. I'm bringing the soles of the feet together. Then I'm going to draw those heels closer towards the body. Keep the spine long, and so I'm getting that support from the wall. And now with your hands, you're just going to place your hands on these inner thighs. And I'm gently going to massage the thighs and start to put in a little pressure. Just first a few strokes. Just putting in some pressure with every stroke. And then finally I'm just going to place those hands and bring them closer towards the end of the thigh and start to push in a little more pressure. Again, you want to stay comfortable here. You want to feel the stretch, but you don't want to feel pain. If you're feeling pain, then you might want to just soften the pressure on the thighs. So again, listen to your body. And by all means, you can close your eyes, you can keep your eyes open, whatever suits you. Just stay with the breath. And for all of us who are not closer to the wall, I'm just going to come back onto the mat. The same pose, just keep your spine nice and long, drawing the heels in closer to the body. You want to now use your blocks for this. So a little support. So blocks under your knees. And again, I would advise to not push here with your hands or down onto the knees at the thighs, because what will happen is you will start to lose the integrity of the spine and you will round your spine in order to do this. So instead, what I would suggest is you hold on to your feet, toes, ankles, whatever is possible. Lift the chest up, keep the spine nice and long. Then with an exhale, bend into your elbows and hinge forward slightly. And then once you hinge forward, your elbows are going to start to push down into those thighs. And this would start to draw those knees or the legs closer towards the blocks. So this, if you're not closer to the wall, and if you're closer to the wall like before, then we stay seated with the spine long and we push into the thighs with a little bit of pressure. So both ways is absolutely fine. We're just modifying it to suit ourselves. And that's what the practice is about. There's no right or wrong. The practice is about you honor the space that you have, the way that you're feeling in the body today, and what we can do with what is available to us. A few more breaths right here. Again, when we are holding a pose, let's just make sure that we keep all of that softness in the face, the jaw, the mouth. Unintentionally, unknowingly, the face starts to tighten up. We don't get to know it, and the eyes, the muscles around the mouth, they start to tighten up. So we have to remind ourselves to stay soft, to let go of that tightness. And with the next inhale, let's come back to center. So if you were close to the wall, just come back on the mat. And now we will stay seated and extend now. I'm going to face this way. So extend the right leg out and bend into your left knee and place the left foot on the inside of your right thigh. Now again, option to use your block on the inside of that right foot. You can place it on this height, or the highest level, your choice. And then what we will do is, you can now, first we'll keep the spine nice and long, so lift the chest up. Inhale here first. Another option is to keep the right knee slightly bent. If you feel your spine is about to round up, then what we could do is bend the right knee a little bit, just not too much, but a little bit. And then with an inhale, keep the spine long. Exhale, we're going to hinge forward. Hinge forward, hinge forward. Now you can put your one hand on that block, one or both your hands on that block. If that block is too far off, you can just bring it closer towards you. If you don't want to use your block, you can just place both your hands on your right foot, so your ankle, shin, whatever suits you. And then you want to keep thinking of taking your chest forward and releasing the weight of your head. Again, breathe in and breathe out. Take like 5 cycles of breath here. And for this practice, especially which is designed for hypertension, it's very important that we hold these poses and we are getting this great feeling of being one with our breaths, with the body. The whole intention is to slow down that nervous system and to bring in a lot of awareness to the breathing. And with an inhale, lift your head up, walk your hands back, and we'll switch now legs, same way. Left foot, left leg extends forward, right knee is going to bend. Place the right foot on the inside of your left thigh. Inhale, lift your chest up, keep the spine nice and long. Option to use your block here on the inside of your right thigh. We will just hinge forward first and place the hands on the block. Again, that's just an option, or just hold on to your ankle, shin, whatever is possible. Keep that chest going forward and let go of the weight of your head. And with that left foot, and even with the right foot, when we did it with the other leg. You want to make sure that you have this flexion, so we don't have a dead foot. We're not just letting go of the foot like this. We're keeping it engaged. So your heel is digging down and your toe is pointing up. And with the next inhale, we'll walk the hands back towards the body. Now we'll extend both the legs. So both your legs forward, flex both your feet. So heels digging down, toes pointing up. Inhale, lift the chest and keep the spine long. Option to bend your knees slightly, slight bend in the knees. Lift up with the chest, hinge forward. Again, actually, I would advise you to reach your arms up so you bring in a little bit of length in the body first. Inhale. With an exhale, hinge forward, and again you're going to come into a seated forward fold. So take your chest forward, the knees can be bent just as you can see right now. The legs can be straight as well. If you're using a cushion for the practice today, you can place your cushion right here. You can stack 2 cushions. If you're using a block, you can stack 2 blocks, and you can just rest your forehead on those blocks actually. So any prop that you're using, make use of it. Support, bring in a lot of support for the practice. And by using this support, by using props, it doesn't mean that the practice is not as impactful as it would have been without the props. It's absolutely false. It would be having the same impact as it would have had without the props as well. So this just helps out better. And with an inhale, lift your head up, walk your hands back and release those props, whatever you were using. And now we are going to come into a seated position and then just place the hands down. Just to bring in a little bit of movement in the spine, come onto your hands and your knees. Keep the spine nice and long. Inhale, arch the back, lift your tailbone. Let the chest go forward and exhale, press into the mat, round the spine. The same way, inhale, arch. And exhale, round. Inhale, arch, tailbone lifts, belly drops, chest goes forward. And exhale, press into the mat, round the spine. One more time, inhale. Then exhale to round. Now, with an inhale, we are going to lift up with the knees and come into our first downward facing dog. Pedal out the feet a few times so that you can stretch the backs of your legs. Now we do have the option to just stay in downward dog this way, pressing into the mat with the hands, lifting the backs of the legs or the backs of the thighs into the space up. You can also keep your knees slightly bent. We do have the option to also use our props in downward dog. So, and they are going to be used in a way that, so I'm stacking my one block on this height, the lowest one, the other block on this height. And I'm going to go into downward dog and rest my forehead on that block. And with an inhale, lift your head up so that you can take your gaze forward. Walk your feet closer towards those blocks, the props that you were using. And now I'm going to stack, coming into a forward fold. Again, option to use your blocks here. So since the forward fold position and I want to rest my head on the blocks, I'm just going to stack them in a way so that they can be, so that my head can reach here. So either I stack them like this and I can reach my forehead down, bend the knees slightly. You can keep your fingertips down. If they don't reach down, just hold on to your blocks if you're feeling that this is too wobbly and it's going to fall down. So just carefully come onto the blocks and hold on to them, or keep your hands down. Take a couple of breaths right here in a supported forward fold, standing forward fold. And with an inhale, lengthen halfway, so hands on your shins, and exhale to refold. And then we are going to just remove these blocks from here, and we are going to come down onto the mat with our knees down. Let's bring the sitting bones down then. And now we will just take a bridge pose, but again a supported bridge pose. So we'll just be using one block here. You can also use two blocks if you want to. Just come down onto your back all the way. First bend your knees and bring the feet closer towards your hips. Then you want to press those heels into the mat, lift the hips up, and then place your block right under. So it's almost in that area where the spine, the lower back and the hips are meeting. We're going to place the block there. And with your hands, you can just keep it on the side, palms are facing up. Or you can also keep your one hand on the chest and on the belly, one hand on the belly, to again bring in awareness to the breathing. And when you're ready to come out of the pose, just press the heels into the mat again, lift your hips up, remove the block from under. And now let's just bring those knees closer to the chest, wrap the arms around, rock from side to side. And come back to center. And now I would again invite you to take a Shavasana, or if you have to go ahead with the day and don't have a lot of time for Shavasana, then just come into a seated position, into Sukhasana. For those of us who are taking Shavasana, please go ahead and pause the video and stay there for as long as you want to. And the rest of us who are in a seated position, let's bring those hands to the heart center, concluding the practice with the sense of gratitude for showing up on the mat and finding time for self-care. We honor the self, this body, and the practice. Thank you everyone for being a part of this practice. I'm grateful for this community. I will see you in the next video soon. Till then, take care. Bye.